In 1887, Paris was a museum of classical stone architecture, resistant to change, devoted to its past. It seemed determined to preserve its old buildings forever. But then something new was built in the middle of it all. A daring folly that was anathema to everything the city stood for. It was called the Tour de l'Homme, or the Tower of Man. But everyone quickly just started calling it the Eiffel Tower. It was a monstrosity, a dishonor, a betrayal of France's cultural heritage. That's what the artists and intellectuals of the day said about it. But it was also an engineering marvel, a triumph of modern industry. In just over 2 years, 18,038 prefabricated pieces of iron had been assembled on site with 2.5 million rivets. Rivets, it was the tallest structure ever built, an unprecedented feat of mathematical precision. And so while the critics denounced it, the public came to see it with their own eyes, silently and grudgingly at first, then with growing awe. For to build such a thing in the heart of Paris, a city that had resisted change for centuries, that took audacity, that took courage. And the daredevil builders were workers who balanced on high beams, seemingly unafraid of heights, hammering away at the soaring structure that seemed to grow taller and more elegant each day. They worked fast, too. By February 1888, when the last piece was put in place, the tower was already complete. The only thing left to do was to raise the French flag at the summit, a ceremony that officially topped out the structure and filled every French person with a sense of immense national pride. But the world was even more astonished. When it came to Paris to host the 1889 World's Fair, people came from all over the globe to see the most extraordinary construction ever built. They gawked at its unprecedented height and the intricate beauty of its latticework. They marveled at the way its 3 levels seemed to float above the ground, connected only by the thinnest of iron supports. But perhaps the greatest wonder of the tower was that from its summit, one could see for miles in every direction, a breathtaking, never-before-seen view of Paris. A view that made the city below look like a map. With the push of a button, the tower's elevators carried visitors to the top, giving them a new perspective on the city, on life itself. That was the genius of the tower. It proved that mathematical precision and iron could create their own beauty, their own poetry. It became an icon of the industrial age, a symbol of a new age, an age of innovation, an age of progress. It was meant to be temporary. It was supposed to be torn down after 20 years. But by then, the city had grown to love it. It was saved. It was kept, not because it was beautiful, not in spite of its ugliness, but because of it. Because it represented the best of France, the courage to dream, the audacity to innovate, the will to succeed.